Black Friday and Cyber Monday are here, and you're about to see a bunch of sewing deals, but a lot of them look better than they actually are. So before you click add to cart, let me show you how to spot the deals that are actually worth your money, especially if you're trying to stick to a budget, and what to skip. We're talking real discounts, easy red flags, and even a couple of places besides Amazon where the deals might be better than you think. Some Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals are genuinely rare or good, especially for those higher priced items. And those are the ones worth grabbing. But a lot of things go on sale all the time. And the percentage off can look impressive even when the actual price barely changes. So don't fall for the hype. Look at the actual price difference, not just the percentage off badge. Let's start with the deals that are genuinely worth grabbing. First, anything that's normally expensive and doesn't go on sale often is a win. This includes things like rotary cutting sets, thread conditioner like Thread Magic, presser feet, and sewing storage boxes. These aren't $5 impulse buys. They're tools that usually cost anywhere from $10 to $50 each, so even a small little discount helps. For example, the 3-piece rotary cutting set with the ruler, the rotary cutter, and the self-healing mat is already better value as a set. So if you see any discount on top of that, it's a great time to grab it. Now, if you happen to be looking for a rotary cutting set, I'll link my favorite one below. Now, it's the same thing with presser feet. Depending on the foot and the brand, a single presser foot can cost anywhere from $10 to $50 on its own. So even if you see just 15% off, that's a meaningful discount. Storage boxes fit into this category too. They're usually in the $20 to $30 range, and they don't go on sale very often. So Black Friday is a good moment if you had your eye on one. Now, here are a couple of specific examples to show you how this actually plays out. The Singer Universal Hard Carrying Case, for example, has been around the $60 mark. With a 15% discount, you're saving a noticeable chunk because it's a higher priced item. That's the sort of thing where a smaller percentage makes a real difference. Sewing machines fall into the same logic. It's all about the actual price, not the percentage. A machine that's $200+ with a deeper discount brings the price down meaningfully, like from around $230 to somewhere in the 170s. That's a win. But a machine that's around $100 with a 15% discount only really drops a few dollars. It looks exciting because of that percentage off badge, but the price barely moves. Now, I know you can do the math, it's just really easy to get swept up in the percentage off when you're scrolling fast. And with higher priced items, even a small percent can make a dent. But with lower priced items, not so much. Now, before we talk about the sewing deals you should skip altogether, let's look at some tricky deals that may or may not be worth it depending on your situation. The tricky deals are the ones that look good at first glance, and honestly, they are good discounts, but they're not once-a-year opportunities. These are good if you need it, skip it if you're budgeting kind of items. For example, the Mandala multi-pack zippers. They're already 50% off, which is a solid discount. But these multi-packs go on sale all the time. Prime Day, seasonal sales, random Tuesdays. So if you sew with zippers a ton and you want to stock up, grab them. But if you're on a tight budget, this is one you can safely skip because you'll see that price again. Same idea with things like hemming tape or fashion tape. The rescue tape I found is almost half off. Normally around the $7 range, dropping to the $4 range. If you need it, this is a great time to grab it. But again, it's a smaller item with frequent discounts, so it's not a must buy unless you already wanted it. Alright, now let's talk about the deals you can skip. These are things that go on sale constantly. Ribbons, trims, buttons, snaps, clips, pins, etc. Pretty much the entire tiny sewing notions category. They're usually around $5 and they're on sale every Prime Day and most weeks in between. And even at 50% off, you're saving like $2. So unless you genuinely need to stock up, pass these by and save your budget for those bigger once-a-year deals. Now, sewing hardware falls into the same category. It goes on sale a lot, but the savings are tiny. For example, the O-rings I checked out were about $10, and at 15% off, that dropped it down to the $9 range. So you're saving about $1. Not worth it unless you're already planning to restock. So again, don't let the percentage off badge distract you. And the magnetic seam guide? same thing. They're almost always on sale. Honestly, I don't think they ever go off sale. And a common discount like 20% off only moves the price about a couple of dollars. So this is not really where you want to spend your Black Friday budget. Now for the misleading deals, the ones that look great but really aren't. The best example is the fabric cutter that works like a paper slicer. It looks exciting because it's marked 20% off, but it still lands in the $40 range. And it only cuts straight lines, no curves, and it doesn't come with a self-healing cutting mat. Compare that to a full rotary cutting set, which usually sits around the mid-40s for a mat, ruler, and rotary cutter all together. One tool versus a complete setup. And the complete setup is still better value even before a sale. So don't let the discount badge convince you that something is a good deal if the actual product doesn't give you the same value. A small sale is not better than a full set that covers everything you actually need. All right, now let's talk about the non-Amazon deals that might actually save you more, depending on what you sew. Now, before we get into the non-Amazon store-wide deals that you'll want to know about, if you're finding this video helpful, please give it a quick like so it can reach more sewists today. And if you want an easy shortcut to the deals that are actually worth grabbing this weekend, I made a special Amazon list with the products that I recommend and are genuinely good buys if they're on sale. Things that actually make a difference in your sewing setup. You can find the list linked right at the top of the description. First up is Sewing Parts Online. They're running a 40% off store-wide sale. And that's across tools, notions, presser feet, manuals, basically everything. So if you need to grab a bunch of small sewing tools at once, this is the place to do it. Because the discount is not item dependent, it's the whole store. Now, a lot of people think Sewing Parts Online is just for replacement parts, but that's only a small piece. You can actually get pretty much anything sewing related there. And 40% off across the board is going to beat a lot of the one-off discounts you'll see on Amazon. I'll put a couple of links below to some of my favorites on their site so you can check out what they have to offer. Next up is Mood Fabrics. They usually run a site-wide Black Friday sale, either 20 or 30% off the entire store. And that's a really good option if you're looking for high quality fabric, multiple yards of something, or you have your eye on a specific print. Now, Mood isn't a place where fabric suddenly drops to bargain bin prices. For example, fabric that's normally $17 per yard might drop to the $13 range at 20% off or the $11 range for 30% off. So it's good savings, it's just not a 50% off kind of situation. It's not really a buy a ton of fabric just because it's on sale kind of sale. But if you've been needing a few yards for a project or you've been wanting one of the higher priced fabrics, now is the time to get it. And honestly, this is a much better option than most of the fabric bundles that you'll see on Amazon. Mood's quality is on a totally different level. So any discount is a win if you actually need fabric. I've got my Mood affiliate link below if you want to check out their selection. One more place worth checking out is the Singer website. They're running up to 40% off machines, up to 30% off accessories and notions, and some of the bigger machine deals are actually happening here instead of on Amazon. For example, I saw one machine that's normally in the higher 400s drop by about $100. Now that's the kind of price drop that actually matters on a higher ticket item. They also released a new black version of their Steamcraft iron, which is my favorite iron, to match their classic black featherweight vibe. And it's currently marked at over 50% off. Normally it's over $100 and now it's in the mid-50s. This is a good reminder to compare stores though. On sale, the iron is currently cheaper than on Amazon at regular price. But the one on Amazon is cheaper if you're comparing both at regular price. So it kind of depends, and we don't know yet if Amazon will match the sale. Now, if you want more sewing videos that'll actually help you shop smart and build your setup, you may want to check out these. Thanks for watching. Bye.